a huge increase in the amount of litter, particularly alongside the roadside verges. So I started picking that myself, and I got pretty overwhelmed and a bit discouraged early on how little I could do alone. Lockdown was coming to an end, people were being allowed to go outside and meet in small groups, so I just put a shout out on Facebook, Twitter and the local Hailsham News and Talk site. I was actually overwhelmed by the amount of people that turned up for the first pick. It was quite sort of touching. I was actually nearly in tears, I think, by the end of it, because I just hadn't imagined that there were so many other people that felt the way I did, and felt so strongly about the blight that litter is causing to our local community and environment and to the local wildlife. And actually Mark was one of the first people to turn up. What would you say, about 40 odd people all in all, who they don't all turn up to every pick. It's very much a loosely based organisation. People come because they genuinely want to come and they enjoy it, and it is very addictive. I think you'll agree, Mark, picking up litter. Seeing the litter does make you angry, but I think it's what you do with that anger. There's no point internalising that anger and feeling all frustrated by it. I'm not that sort of person, and I think a lot of our Wombles aren't of that mindset. We're all the sort of people that think, right, I'm really angry about that. What can I do about it? What can I do to change that situation? We do get a lot of comments when we post how much rubbish we've picked on social media. You very often will get the comment of, what's the point? You'll go down there, drive down there tomorrow, and there'll be litter again. But the point is, why wouldn't you want to pick up the litter? That's what I say to people, is it's not really why are we doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing something to help? Why aren't you stopping dropping litter? Why aren't you, when you walk your dog, just taking a little carrier bag out with you and just pick up a small amount of litter? If every single person in the town went out and just picked the little area around where they lived, there would be no litter. We need to get back to those times when people went out and swept that little bit of street outside the house. Yeah, a bit of civic pride and a bit of community feeling, instead of thinking, well, someone else is going to deal with this, because they don't. We tend to see three main types of litter when we're out collecting. There's the general litter that you find that people have dropped from the hand. So it'll be the child walking along eating an ice cream, takes the wrapper off, just drops it on the floor, or the adult that's just bought a takeaway and just eats it and drops the litter as they go. Then we've got the thrown from the car, which tends to be not local. It's people passing through the area on the main roads. It's concentrated around junctions, because when the car slows down, that's when the window comes open and it's slung out. And we literally get somebody who's taken the time and trouble to bag up their picnic and then throw it out of the car, which kind of blows my mind a bit, that they don't think that they could just drive home and put it in their own bin, but it's fine to drop it where we live. We also get the drivertiser, which is what we call the empty plastic bottles that have been used for as a toilet and then thrown out into the verges. So disgustingly enough, we have to pick that up. And then of course we've got the more serious problem of big dumps of commercial and deliberate litter, fly tipping, or whatever you want to call it, that happens out in the countryside and locally to this area. So there's kind of those three main aspects to the litter that we're dealing with, and we obviously can only deal with the first two. The fly tipping we report to the council and they come out and pick that up. The secondary benefit that people think about litter, that's all we're asking people to do, is just give it a second thought before you drop something, or before you go on that picnic. Think about how you're going to bring your litter home with you. if you buy your child an ice cream or some sweets, think about what they're going to do with the wrappers. If you go and get a takeaway, what are you going to do with the litter from that takeaway? Are you going to just throw it out of your car window? Are you just going to leave it on the bench where you ate it? Just that extra 2 or 3 seconds thought, and maybe 20 paces to the nearest bin.
We're out there picking the litter. People do see us picking the litter, so they're actually seeing a positive impact by members of the public. And sometimes you get people stopping, they actually say thank you very much, they applaud, they honk their horns in support. If we can change culture, attitude and perceptions, and by doing that in a positive way, then people may take a little more care about the placement of their litter. We do have this huge environmental impact that is going to cause problems for the children of tomorrow.
Something you drop today is still going to be in the environment in 50, 60 years' time. When you're long gone, your children have got children. It's something that we should all really be concerned about. And I don't want to be too serious about it either. It's actually good fun going out litter picking.
Yes.
We've got a really good group. We have a laugh. We've got a picnic planned, social distancing allowing. So we'll be having a picnic in the park, and it's a park that we litter pick regularly. And we'll all be taking our picnic along, and we'll all be taking the rubbish home again afterwards. Wealden Wombles is just a platform and a hub for people, like-minded people, to get together and make a difference. The main message of Wealden Wombles is come along, take a look at our Facebook group, take a look at Twitter, keep an eye on when the pics are, come along and have a go. There's no commitment.
Right.
We've got the equipment that's been provided by the council. We're also sponsored by Chandler's with some equipment from them, and we're hoping to get more community involvement from some of the businesses, particularly the fast food outlets in town, that they don't generate the litter, but they do generate the products that become litter. So we'd like them to be a lot more involved as well. We can't do it alone, can we?
That's right.
We need help on both sides.
Yes.
We need support from the public, we need support from the council, and we need support from local businesses.